So I was looking through my videos and I was like, yo, T, you haven't done the best MagSafe battery packs for the iPhone 14 Pro Max yet. So I was like, let's go ahead and jump into it and let's talk about it because MagSafe battery packs are some of my favorite things to talk about. And I got so many of them. I legit have like 20 of these things. So I got about 5 over here that I feel like are the best that I've used and that I currently use, especially when even if I'm around the house, even if I'm traveling, these things are always in the reach and distance. All right. So let's go ahead and kick it off with the first one. And this is going to be the 10,000 milliamp hour ESR Halolock magnetic power bank. Yes, all of that. Now, if you guys are familiar with my channel, you know the ESR had an older version of this, which was also an amazing version of it. It was also white, came in the black version, but that one had a soft touch material that would kind of get a little bit dirty, and it would work perfectly fine, just didn't really look that good on the outside. But ESR was like, you know what, let me go ahead and upgrade it. Let me give it a kickstand for one, so you do get a nice little kickstand on this MagSafe battery pack. Let's change the surface of it up. So now it's a surface that's not going to get dirty. It's a nice plastic material that feels very good and keep all of the same performance. So like I said, this is going to be a 10,000 milliamp hour magnetic power bank. Now, you know, when you talk about 10,000, it's going to be one of those ones that's going to be able to get your phone from 0 to 100% when you need that full charge. So this is kind of like maximum capacity that we're talking about when we are charging. So this is going to give you 7.5 watts when we are talking about wireless, and it has a power delivery USB-C port right here that's going to give you up to 20 watts when you were talking about plugging it in. Now, I'm not sure about you, but I use these battery banks when I'm always traveling, and honestly, I find myself just using the actual charging port more because it works faster. It gets my phone the juice that I need to get, especially when I'm on vacation and different things like that. Sure, you can utilize the MagSafe power bank if you kind of want to use your phone and do things at the same time, but I find myself just plugging it up. If I do need to use it via wireless, I will use a smaller one, and we are going to talk about smaller magnetic power banks on this list. But the reason why I love this ESR 10,000, you get your 20-watt power delivery port. You get a very nice kickstand if that's what you want to use, which also really comes in handy if you're somewhere low on battery, take your son out to eat. He's always looking at my phone. If I forget his iPad, you can prop it up, charge it, and you can watch your content just like this. The kickstand is nice and sturdy. There when you need it, gets out the way when you don't need it. Pass through charger, and this also comes in black or white. So if you want to kind of keep it all stealthy, then just go ahead and grab the black version and you will be good to go. Now, another thing about this MagSafe battery bank is this also comes in one that is not, it doesn't have a kickstand available. So if you don't really care about the kickstand, which I use it from time to time, I just need these for the juice. You can go grab it, save yourself 10 bucks. This one right here is going to be sitting at 50 bucks, but Amazon always has a coupon that you can clip, especially when it comes to these ESR battery banks. But if you don't care about having a kickstand, they also make a non-kickstand version as well. It's going to run you 40 bucks, so you can save you a few bucks. So the ESR 10K is going to be one of those big boys, all right? One of those consistently good 10,000 milliamp hour battery packs, especially from ESR. It's going to give you that fast port. It's going to give you that kickstand, give you that wireless charging, and just give you the power that you need. So, yep, this is going to be the 10K ESR Halolock battery bank. Now, to keep things rolling, if you want to slim it down a little bit, and if you don't really need all of the capacity like 10,000 milliamps, then you can go with the 10K little brother, all right? I had to do these back to back because these are basically the exact same, except a few differences are a little bit different. So on this one, you're also still going to get that 7.5 watts when you were talking about charging it via wireless through MagSafe on the iPhone. But if you use this port on this one, it's not going to give you that fast 20 watt that the big brother did. This is going to bump it down to 12 watts, all right? But you still get enough juice when you need it. And this whole battery bank is going to be 5,000 milliamp hours. Now, this also has the same features that the bigger brother has, except a little bit more toned down. Like I said, you're still going to get it in either the black or white colorway. So right here, you can see the both colors. You're going to get a slower port. You're going to get the same kickstand, all right? The kickstands are the exact same, so you don't have to worry about that. You're going to get those same kickstands. When you hit that power button, you always got to locate it. You're going to get these same light up buttons, just like you do on the white one, to see what your charging level is. You're going to get the same lights, albeit it's a little brighter on the 10,000, a little bit more dim when it comes to the 5,000, but we don't really have to get into much detail with this one. These are one of these smaller battery packs, just like I stated, that if you want to use your phone and use the battery bank at the same time, it's small enough to where you can use it and get it out the way. If you want to use that kickstand, the kickstand is still there. You already know when it comes to ESR products, ESR Halolock system works very well with Halolock products. The magnetics is just there. If it's not an ESR product, then you really got to depend on the magnetic strength of the case that you're using. I'm using the Spigen Enzo right now, and it doesn't give you that strong of a MagSafe bomb because the Spigen Enzo really doesn't have the strongest magnet. But really just depends on what magnetic strength you're talking about when you're talking about your case. But just magnetic battery bank alone, this one right here just gets the job done, being a 5,000, slimming things up a little bit, but you get some of the same characteristics of the bigger 10,000 milliamp hour battery. Now, you know the third one on the list is one that people just love to hate to see coming, all right? People just love to hate this MagSafe battery pack, but this one right here is just, I always consider it the best thing available out there for the iPhone series, and of course, it's gotta be the Apple MagSafe battery pack. Look, no matter how long I'm on YouTube, this battery bank is always going to make the list because it is such a good product. I swear by this thing, as long as you know how to use it, all right? Now, I'm not really going to get long drawn into it because I'm pretty sure a lot of you know how to use it if you've been watching my channel. But this thing right here doesn't perform like your average MagSafe magnetic power bank, all right? These right here are made specifically to give your phone power. That's it. If you're low on battery, that's what these bad boys are used for, and they serve their purpose. Don't get me wrong. When I travel, guess what? I'm solely using these because I need the power. So these serve its purpose. Just because they just provide just power only doesn't mean that they're not optimized. But this one right here is the one that you use when you really, really want to get the best out of your iPhone, which means I don't consider this a MagSafe charging brick. This is like a battery extender, as I always say, and I always say the perfect scenario. You get this charged up, you get your iPhone charged up, you head out the house, you know you're going to be going all day. You might be on all day doing tours, whatever it could be. And honestly, this thing really could be used if you travel because this isn't made to bump your phone up from, oh, my phone is at 20% in the red, get me up to 100%. That's not what this thing is used for. This is used for optimizing your battery when it comes to the iPhone. This is going to sip the battery from this before it even touches the battery from the phone itself. So when this thing is dead, when the Apple MagSafe battery pack is dead, your phone is still going to have about 80 to 90% charge, and you can still go about your day. And guess what? The day is already over. You can almost get 2 days out of your 14 Pro Max, even if more, depends on how you use your phone with this MagSafe battery pack. So that's why I call this an extender, all right? It's not a external battery bank like the rest of these. This right here is going to be an extender. It's the only one, of course, out of this that's going to let you know your charge percentage, especially on the MagSafe battery bank in the dashboard. It's going to be built for iPhone, so of course you're going to get that little notification when you pop it on. You'll get that animation right here, letting you know how much charge is left and everything like that. As a whole package, I love the Apple MagSafe battery bank. It's one of the best out there on the market. I wish they made a Gen 2 version, give us a little bit more milliamps, change this bad boy to Type-C, and add reverse wireless charging for this so I can pop it on a MagSafe stand and actually charge it up. Only one MagSafe battery pack out there that I know does that, and nobody has. I haven't seen any other ones do that on the market yet. So the Apple MagSafe battery pack, yes, it's expensive, but guess what? This is going to be more safe for your iPhone and for your battery than any other ones I got on the list and I got on the table right here. So yeah, it's high. If you want to check the video out about this, I'll be sure to pop it up above so you can see a little bit of the more detailed stats and how this thing really performs on your phone. Now this one right here is going to be one of the newcomers as well on the list, and this is going to be the Baseus 10,000 milliamp hour battery bank. Now I know you're like, T, you got a lot of 10,000s up here. Yes, but those are the best performing ones. That's what you really want when it comes to the power and giving your phone that power. Now the Baseus, I know you're like, who are they? What do they make? Look, check them out, look them up, man. They make some very, very dope accessories, man. Baseus actually sent this over to me months ago, and I did a video review on it already. You can check that out. But I also have a power brick. It's kind of like surge protector that I also use from them that's powering a lot of the things that's on my desk into my computer to the side of me that works absolutely phenomenal. So they make very, very good products. But the one thing that I like about this MagSafe battery pack is it has something that no other one has on the list, and that's going to be a digital readout of the percentage left on your battery bank. Now, even for it to be 10,000 milliamps, all right, This thing has a small size to it because it's not as thick as the other one. Yes, it may be a little bit longer, but this battery bank is not thick, which that I can really appreciate it, but it still gives you the same performance that your average 10,000 milliamp hour battery gives you. It's going to get your phone from 0 to 100, and it's going to get your phone from 0 to 100 again. Well, not 0 to 100, but about 0 to 50% if you're using this as a charger, all right? And another thing that you really can't even see when it comes to this MagSafe battery pack is it has a little kickstand out here. It has such a discreet kickstand, and it just works perfect. I mean, you plug it up, pop the kickstand up. If you need to use your kickstand, it's there. If you need to use it, it works just fine. Like I always say, it's there when you need it, completely out of the way when you don't need it. It does have a shiny surface right here, and if it was one thing that I can say that I would change on this is give this like a matte surface, the same matte surface that you have on the back side of it, but you get your alignment magnet right here, 10,000 milliamp hours. This comes in a few different colors, all right? You're gonna be able to get pink, you're gonna be able to get white, you get a digital readout, 7.5 watts when you're talking about plugging it in, 20 watts power delivery port right here, all right? So you get that USB-C with that 20 watt power delivery port, so that's always good to see right here. You do have pass-through charging as well, so you get all of the big boy features when it comes to this MagSafe battery pack. And it's just another solid one, all right? If you need to go out and you need that juice, you can throw this in your pocket because honestly, it's not that big. I feel like this is slim on the rim of MagSafe battery packs because you can throw this one in your pocket. That's not going to fit the same as this one. So this right here is going to be just about the slimmest 10,000 milliamp hour battery pack that you are going to get, and it still packs the same performance, and it does not heat up. That is a characteristic of all of these battery packs. Now, we're not going to talk about one brand. I do got one up here, but the majority of their battery packs get a little hot, if you know what I'm talking about. But the Baseus 10,000 watts right here, 10,000 milliamp hours, I'm sorry. This just right here gets it done. You have that digital readout. It's going to pop up when it starts charging. This thing right here, very solid, and I love that readout right here. That really attracts me to this battery bank. And last but not least, always making a list of the best MagSafe battery packs out there in the market, we got to go ahead and talk about the Anker 633. This thing right here always will be on my list. This is my #1 travel companion. This needs passport stamps right along with myself because when I go out of town, when I go out of the country, this is the first piece of tech that I always put in my bag. 10,000 milliamps, 7.5 watts when you're talking about wireless charging, 20 watt power delivery port. But not only that, you also get a USB-A port right here that's going to give you some juice as well. So you already know if you charge something in both of the outlets, you already know the charging speeds will be reduced slightly. But guess what? I've given this charger to somebody and they've charged their stuff up and still had a lot of juice on their phone, and this 633 still had power on it. So pass-through charging, you get a few different colors. You get this color, you can get a blue, you can get a pink. You got the kickstand, all right? Not the strongest kickstand. Now, if I had to knock it a little bit, it would be the kickstand is a little bit weak when you, especially when we're talking about this mode. If you put it in landscape, it's not going to work good at all. But if you do pop it up vertical in portrait, it's going to work just fine, and you don't have anything to worry about. You'll get the little LED readout right here, the little dots to let you know how much juice you got left on your battery bank. But this thing right here, I just like it. I don't know what it is about it. The battery hasn't degraded in it. It doesn't get hot. This thing is tried and true. I will buy this thing. If this thing ever goes down, I'm buying another one right then. This just gets the job done. And of course, you're going to have a little bit of thickness because this is going to be a 10,000 milliamp hours. So these are going to be one of those ones that's going to get your phone from 0 to 100 and from 0 to about 50%. All right. That's the characteristics of all 10,000 milliamp hours. Usually those numbers are right on par when I decide to test each one of them out. So Anker 633, easily one of my favorite, if not my favorite MagSafe battery pack, wireless battery bank. So you got the Anker 633 coming right here. You got the new boy right here, the Baseus. If you want to have something a little bit different with that digital readout, you got that one as well. You always got to go with the OG, the Apple MagSafe battery pack there. You want something a little bit smaller, but you don't care about, you just need juice, but you want to throw it in your pocket and still have it. You can have the smaller ESR 5,000 milliamp hours. And if you need another big boy, I usually travel with these two. These two right here are my travel companions, my ESR and my Anker. When I'm going out of the country, literally, these two are in my bag. So I can always have one for myself and have one from somebody else if they need a charge up. So you already know, man, all of these links will be all in the description. Go out there and get yourself up one. You really can't go wrong with either one of these. All of these simply get the job done. But if you're into MagSafe like I am, I love my MagSafe accessories. Make sure you check this video up above showing you my favorite MagSafe accessory.